All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started with the next presentation on AFWERX. So Dash, when you're ready, you can go ahead and share your screen and get started. Oh, you're still on mute.
I think you can never get old making those mistakes.
I know. It's I've been doing Zoom for a year now, and I still leave myself on mute.
Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes.
All righty.
So I see the slides not in presentation mode, just so you know.
Okay. How about now?
Yep. There you go.
Perfect. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Darshan Divakaran, go by Dash. I'm a senior operations research analyst at AFWERX. And today I'm going to be talking about AFWERX. If you are not aware about AFWERX, this will be a great session. If you know about AFWERX, I hope I'm going to share some new updates and ideas that you haven't been aware about. But my background is I am a manned aviator, unmanned systems expert. So my areas of focus is mostly in aviation, and I'm also helping out with the CIBR and STTR process, helping small businesses. So overall, working with Air Force and trying to accelerate innovation is my focus. So with that, as much as today's session, we'll cover more in general about AFWERX, and our three main focus here is the AFWERX Spark, AFWERX Prime, and AFWERX AFVentures. So what AFWERX, the focus of AFWERX is to transition agile, affordable, and accelerated capabilities or technology and get it to the hand of our airmen and guardian. So we have these three focus that I mentioned: AFVentures, Spark, and Prime. And I'm going to be talking about a lot more about AFVentures, because that is something that would be really of interest to y'all, especially for small businesses looking to work with the Air Force. But also you will learn a little bit about Spark and how you can work with the airmen and guardian. And overall, the other focus is Prime, where we are working or we are understanding the technology, the commercial technology that exists, and want to see a military and commercial use for it, so dual use applications, and how we are going to innovate the Air Force. So traditionally, how we see technology, transition is technology and talent is through the over years it takes, and it's called the valley of death, basically, where after years the technology can either be the program can either be can end or can be removed based on certain data or research that comes through. But basically it takes years to go through the acquisition phase, where the military actually gets to use the technology. But this is where AFWERX changes that. With AFVentures, Spark, we are expanding technology. We are with AFVentures, we are trying to work with small businesses, and with the Spark, we are working with our airmen and guardians to see what ideas can be bought into operations and into a technology, and then help through the acquisition phase, where we can actually use this technology within the military, and overall also see dual use applications in the commercial sector too. So innovation as such is a very loosely used word. Everyone wants to innovate, everyone talks about innovation, but innovation without application, without actually implementing innovation into operations, it is not a complete innovation. It is just an idea, and here we are looking to take that idea forward to actually build the technology, and we want our airmen and guardians to actually use this technology. So our focus is to find those great ideas, move it into a technology and then help with the acquisition part. We want to reduce those years of acquisition towards in the military to less than a year to months, where we can actually see these technologies being used. So AFWERX, where are we? We have offices, hubs in Vegas. We have a Silicon Valley hub. Our latest one is the SpaceWorks hub. Then we also have an Austin hub and one in DC and one in Dayton. And we are expanding. There will be other hubs in the future, but the main focus of these hubs are to work, to connect with the community, connect with the small businesses, universities, and researchers and government and everything, to actually see these technologies, firsthand, see these technologies, these research, and also help transition this forward, even at a state and local level, wherein these technologies, we can partner with the government to see these technologies being used in the commercial space as well. So if you are in these areas and would like to visit AFWERX, do check out our website and reach out to the contacts there. So I mentioned to you about the 3 focuses for AFWERX. So a little about AFVentures. This is the commercial investment hand of AFWERX. This is where ideas can be can move forward into prototypes and then into actual technology and scale it to actual technology. So we work extensively with small businesses, research institutes. We have the CIBR and STTR. The next slide I'll be discussing about that. But our main focus is to see what innovation exists there and speed up the process of acquisition, speed up the process of prototype, and help bring this technology into Air Force, while also finding investors that would like to match the funding so that we can speed up the process. So the feasibility, the prototype, and to scale it is our focus in the present. But in future, we're looking to for venture capitalist investments to match those research ideas. And also overall, this is where you as companies would be interested or to work with Air Force. So if you need more information, you can visit our website. And we also have weekly sessions where we are educating. It's on YouTube, live sessions where we are educating companies on how to apply for a CIBR and STTR, answer any questions that come up, and basically, we are here to, basically take you through that door, and rather than show you where that door is, we want to help you, take you towards it, and open the door for you. So that's how we are working with AFVentures. The various way to work through the CIBR and STTR is through the defense focus, where the technology is only used in the for military and does not have a dual use potential. Then there's the dual use where there's open topics where you can where companies can pitch ideas and that can benefit the military, and basically we go through that process where you get a CIBR and STTR. Also, there is the TACFI and STRATFI funding, where when you're transitioning from phase 2 to phase 3, because end goal is phase 3, where these technologies are actually moving from prototype to operations and actually being built. That's between phase 2 and phase 3 is a very it's a very difficult process, because not all not all ideas or not all prototypes go to phase 3, but we are working with companies to help them through that phase wherein they need that additional funding to reach phase 3, and overall are different ways of working with small businesses. That's our main focus here. So I mentioned about open topics. Open topics is where companies can come pitch ideas, and then those ideas will be selected through phase 1, where we'll have a feasibility study, and that's up to $50,000 per award. and we give about 1,000 to 1,500 awards per year. And then from there, as you move to the phase 2, you work with Air Force TPOCs, that is your technical point of contacts, who sign MOUs and see that this technology can actually benefit the Air Force, or this study that the feasibility study research that came out is really important, and we would like to see a prototype and see further research. That's where phase 2 comes. Phase 2 is up to $750,000. And also there is options of matching funding with private investors. So 300 to 500 awards per year goes through that process. The next one is the phase 3, in which, where we are looking to scale this further to actually building this technology and using it in operations and stuff. Phase 3 is a very is the big goal for us, and there's up to $15 million in funding, and again there's matching funding required for in phase 2 it's encouraged, but in phase 3 we require matching funding from maybe from industry, maybe other government agencies. So basically your end users, that's the important part here. So open topics exist. If you visit our website AFWERX.com, we keep up, we are updating it always. Even our social media on LinkedIn and Facebook, we update all the information about upcoming events or upcoming open topics and opportunities for SBIR and STTR, funding. So in the AFVentures phase 3 post-award impact, about 2.21 billion private follow-on, 1.41 billion non-SBIR government follow-on. So over 2,200 awards, with 1,078 companies that are new to Department of Air Force through the SBIR process, and all this less than 6 months of commercialization, or over 6 months of commercialization. So basically, these are just facts about how successful the program has been. The other part of our focus is Spark. Just as we are interested in working with small businesses to find innovation, find technologies that will help Air Force, we are also working with our airmen and Guardian to see the potential they have, the ideas they have, and bring it to operations or bring it to technology. So we have initiatives under Spark, in different states. That basically in different Air Force bases there are Spark cells, and many of these Spark cells are organizing events, innovation summits, where companies, small businesses, research institutes, and other organizations participate with in these summit to connect with our airmen and Guardian, show them, basically talk to them about or educate them about innovation, show them what the technologies are outside, and basically we are, as the word says, Spark, we are sparking innovation. We want them to think beyond, beyond a box. We want them to go, that out of box thinking approach. Some of the ideas that can be generated can have long-term benefits for the Air Force to even short-term benefits, but these are done through various initiatives like Spark Cells. We have Spark Challenges where we have competitions placed where they can submit ideas, and we connect them with industry innovators, commercial innovators, and basically see these technologies into operations and stuff. We also have fellowship opportunities. We just have presently we have a lot of fellows in the Agility Prime program. We have Spark, and they are Airmen and Guardian who are working with SMEs and with folks like us who are able to understand their ideas, show them the capability, show them the opportunities to grow, and so various opportunities there, and the Spark cells are scattered all around the world. We have most of our Spark cells are in US, but we have other places in the world also, and they are innovating, they're building technologies, and this is where industry can work, or even research institute can work with the Spark cells to innovate our MN and Guardian. The other part of AFWERX, the other focus is Prime, and under Prime, I'll be talking about Agility Prime and the other primes. But the focus of primes is to basically, reach out to the, to other companies, organizations that have technologies that can be basically used by Air Force, but also have dual uses, that is in the commercial technology capability also. So basically what I mean here is, there are technologies, emerging technologies in the industry that need a little bit of push and need a little bit of guidance to come into market, and and then eventually eventually get into the hands of people, or get in or become operational. Many of these technologies like drones, your eVTOLs, your electric vertical takeoff aircrafts, and also if you look at it, other emerging technologies like autonomy, 5G, blockchain. There's so many things happening in the emerging technology side. Many companies or many institutes have already built these technologies. They're testing these technologies, but they need an end user. They need military. They need commercial uses, but also here's an opportunity for them to work with military. And maybe earlier they never saw the benefit of this technology towards military use, but as they work with us, they're able to understand, yes, there is dual use from the, and we are able to accelerate this market, and through this acceleration, we can operationalize the technology. And then when we operationalize, a lot of lessons and best practices can help influence the commercial side as well. So the Prime is an important focus for us, and basically we are partnering with industry investors, we have research institutes, international organizations, and a lot more. So this is I'll be showing a video of Agility Prime, and I'll talk after that. Now, there may be some thoughts or questions really about, how this is going to Agility Prime is going to help you all, or understand, what it's going to be used for, or what is this technology. For those who are not familiar with electric vertical takeoff aircraft, a simpler way to put it is small drones. Just as small drones, there are larger, automated vehicles where people and cargo can be transported. We call it eVTOLs, or ORBS, that's the organic resupply bus. Now, just to think about it is, especially this being a medical ops event, we are using these technologies for medical evacuations, our use cases. So again, this technology is not yet in the market. It's there are companies that have built this technology, and we are helping accelerate this market so that by 2023 we can operationalize these vehicles for dual uses, and at the pace or at the focus that we are in, we will be one of the earliest or the first organizations to operationalize this technology, and hopefully in a year or two from that we will see more commercial uses and applications in other states also. Now, these technologies have multiple uses, especially as I mentioned, medical evacuation, even for transporting of medical supplies, emergency management during disasters, to supply water, medical goods during emergency operations. Overall, even for daily commute, to even other use cases like firefighting, hurricane response. So there are so many use cases. Presently, that we have about 20 fellows within Agility Prime program that is testing these aircrafts for 20 different use cases. And basically by 2023, we want to operationalize it for at least 1 or 2 use cases somewhere in the nation. And we are focusing on Ohio, we are focusing on Texas. These are places where it's happening. Now, as companies, if you think about it, you can partner with these tech companies or the eVTOL companies to implement for medical uses and medical operations and medical uses. So right now, small drones are being used to transport blood samples and other medical supplies. Even if you've been following the news, COVID vaccines and everything. So here you have a capability of lifting heavier supplies, lifting more weight, to even transporting people and patients and stuff. So a lot to think about there. And it's like we're not just focused on the aircraft overall, but we are also very focused on the use cases that can have public acceptance and can be operationalized quicker. So we have a list of companies that have gone through our program, and some of those company aircrafts you just saw in through the video. And so far 29 companies, and we have contract about 100 million in contracts. We are given 9 SBIR phase 2 awards were given, and about 220 plus STTR awards were provided, and over 1 billion in commercial investment. These are important because here you see Agility Prime is an example of how all the other primes may or may not be. It's Agility Prime was announced in 2020, and AFWERX has existed prior to that, but it was a decision that Agility Prime go under AFWERX, and this is where the birth of Prime came over. And Agility Prime, the focus is the years of acquisition, which takes like 10 years or even more, is reduced to within 3 years, where we actually see the capability of the technology or the solution, and provide funding or in-kind testing opportunities to understand the technology, find use cases, and then operationalize it, and then match comms and other organizations within the military and around the nation can see the benefits of this technology and acquire it. So we are trying to reduce the time of acquisition, and so we are fighting a big challenge, and we are that's why we are real innovators who want to change how the way the industry thinks, but also the way how military is going to accept those technologies and bring about a change there. So the other primes in our pipeline, and it's still in market study and pipeline, but most recently space was announced. But the other focus is autonomous prime, game prime, microelectronics, vector, and energy. There could be other primes. These are just a market study done, but in future we could have more primes. So lot of opportunities to work with AFWERX, and be either through the AFVentures, through Spark, or it could be through the primes. But end of the day, innovation is what is our focus, and accelerating the commercial market for military use cases and military operations is our focus. So with that, this is my information, and I'll look if there's any questions and try and answer those questions. And if not, you can always visit AFWERX.com to get more updates. We are on LinkedIn and Facebook. You can find me on LinkedIn as well. And I think I'll stop presenting and then answer the questions.
All right, thank you so much, Dash. That was very informative. There are a bunch of questions in the Q&A, and there is one in the chat. So I'll go ahead and read out that one in the chat. It's very hard for small businesses, micro businesses in particular, to find potential users for their technologies within the Air Force or DoD to build connections with these potential users. Does AFWERX have any plans to break this barrier and to reduce the burden on small businesses?
Sure. So yeah, and that question is comes to us every time, and that's we are, as I mentioned earlier, we are fighting a lot of challenges and trying to break a lot of barriers, and this is our focus as we are providing commercial, as we are providing funding and opportunities to small businesses. We know the problem of transitioning from phase 1 to phase 2, where you have to find a Air Force user, TPOC, and there's a whole team of people within AFVentures that is focused on this on the cyber STTR side. I myself am helping phase 1 companies transition to phase 2. There are also now nonprofits working along with us to help connect the small businesses to the end users. So yes, every problem has a solution, and right now the main thing we are trying to do is bring funding opportunities and for small businesses, either through partnership with universities, as research institutes, or coming in on a cyber contract. And I would say every month we are making progress of connecting those small businesses to the end users within the Air Force, to also other organizations within military. It's if the technology is good, we want other organizations to also be aware about it. So we are always talking to Army, Navy, and other federal agencies also, and giving them updates on some of the great technologies we are witnessing.
Thank you so much. So there's a question in here that says, you say speed up the process. Is there a normal timeline? I believe that question came in when you were talking about AFVentures. Sure.
Yeah. So there's no there's no way to say that how long it generally takes. Acquisition from feasibility and studies to ideas to prototypes. To getting a prototype made takes time, usually in the traditional traditional way of how Air Force or military works. But through the AFVentures, we have timelines set within which you have to finish it. The phase 1s have to be completed. So we are helping the companies if they are having a hurdle, maybe having some issues moving forward. We are always trying to help the company solve those problems. So we are trying to speed up the whole process where companies can move from phase 1, that is a feasibility, to a prototype, and and then from prototype to scaling the technology, that is phase 3. There hasn't been phase 3s till date, and we are working really hard to make phase 3s possible. And that is why we also introduced the STRATFI and TACFI funding, where even if you're in phase 2 and trying to transition to phase 3, we are still providing funding, that little bit more push to get that to phase 3. And end of the day, we are looking for phase 3 technologies. So the timeline is it depends on the company. It depends on the The technology also the company is bringing to the bringing into the research or bringing into discussions. So it depends on that, and end of the day, it's also depends on the end user, how soon they can acquire it, and how important that solution is to implement within the military.
Great, thank you so much. Okay, so we have a comment in here. It says, unfortunately, we did not get our MOU signed in time. What are options now for direct to phase 2?
So if it is through STTR and CIBR, there is if you didn't get through in the first one, you can get again. There is another opportunity opening up. I believe it's in September. You can email me. I will drop my email here, and we can solve this problem offline. That way, I can point you either to the right people within AFWERX or even to the direct to the TPOCs and solve the problem. I know this is it's a common problem happening, is that not all companies are able to transition immediately to phase 2, but I would tell you that it's not difficult. It just takes a little time. Maybe in the first window of opportunity you cannot get through, but if you really believe that this technology is going to make a change and be impactful for the military, then it's just finding the right TPOC or right end user to see that, and we will try our best to make sure that happens.
Great, thanks so much. Okay, so can I work with Spark Inventors to take advantage of all AFWERX programs?
Yes, so in Spark, these Spark cells, you can reach out. So if you go, if you on our social media, there are AFWERX.com. You can drop questions there. They'll connect you to the right Spark lead. Really, in every FO space, nearly there is a Spark, and the Spark cells basically, and the Spark cells have events, innovation summits and stuff where they invite industry to attend in person or virtual. So that's a great opportunity to connect if you're to a local Spark cell. Also, there is opportunities, through the CIBR and STTR, but also in AFWERX, they have various events, challenges that takes place. So there are different ways that you can partner, but most of our opportunities are all mentioned through our website or on our social media. So just staying updated on that is important. But if you have questions specific to how you can work with a specific Spark cell or a specific initiative, you can reach out to me and I can point you in the right direction.
Great, thank you so much. Okay, what is the advantage of going through AFWERX open topic versus a traditional SBIR topic?
So in the open topic, and again, I'm not an expert in the AFWERX side, I'm helping out. So with the open topic, here the opportunity is that you can pitch your ideas, and there are multiple opportunities where as we see these ideas, we are able to connect them to the right process of how you want to go through CIBR and STTR process and stuff like that. But just on the CIBR open topic, what happens is you have to find an end user when you bring the problem also. So it is difficult at times. It's difficult to find the end user, and that is where on the CIBR side, many times the company approaches the TPOC. I have been a TPOC in the past for certain specific, on the unmanned systems, basically on the eVTOL side. So they come with that problem, and they find the TPOC, and they also bring matching funding. So it's their effort that they have to put in themselves for the open topic. They come with the idea, and then we try to see how we can get them in the right pipeline and take them forward.
Yeah, I would say the biggest difference I see is that for a traditional topic, you kind of have the end user already there. For an open topic, you have this solution and there wasn't a problem per se that the Air Force already had, or they don't know that they have this problem yet, maybe.
Yeah, that's the main, that exactly what Sarah just pointed out. That's the biggest thing is we may not even know that this is useful or this is a problem. And while as in civil, you know it's a problem because you have talked to multiple people within the military and they have identified the problem. So here you know who your end user is, while as in this you just have an idea and you feel that idea is going to solve the problem.
Yeah. Okay, so another question we have in here, you mentioned hubs around the country. If you connect with the POC, do you have the opportunity to pitch your technology to a group for feedback from AFWERX?
So yes, to that, as you so these hubs are basically you will see that these hubs are not traditionally in Air Force bases. They are in private or like commercial buildings or commercial facilities. So for example, in Austin, where I visit a lot, we have the Austin hub, which is at Capital Factory. Now, Capital Factory is where anyone can come and use, it's like those open places where people can come and use the facility, use the computers and stuff like that. So what we are trying to show, or we are trying to put out, is that AFWERX is ready to work with commercial entities. We're not making it difficult to reach out to us. You will see us in these hubs where you can come out and say, hey, I have this amazing idea and we just don't know the right way to go about with it. And this is where that hub might be able to provide you the right direction. It's not like just sometimes when you go there, you're not just going to find someone sitting there. You have to take an appointment and stuff. But when you reach out, there are events taking place at these hubs. I just attended in Vegas the Vegas Hub event for innovation. So they have those events taking place. There is another event coming up in I believe it's in September, October. I check again. It's called Fed Nova in Texas. It's a Capital Factory. So there are companies there who are having a booth space. They're demonstrating some technologies and stuff. So there are events taking place. Some of them we participate. Some of them we organize. But we have other military organizations that we partner with. So you get opportunities through that. So the hub is the right way to reach out, but also you just don't have to go to a hub or visit a hub, because sometimes, like I said, sometimes when you go there, you're not going to see us sitting there. But if you reach us through email and say that, hey, I'm part of this city or state, and the nearest hub is so-and-so, and I would like to reach out to someone there. So that may be the best way to go about.
Great, thank you so much. It looks like there's one more question, which I don't know that you would know the answer to this, but I'll put it out there. Is there a human system or healthcare pitch day coming up in the future?
I'll have to check. Maybe not. If you like email me that question, and I will send it to the events focus, basically the events POCs in AFWERX, and see if they have anything coming up. But I think open topics would be that best way to go about for those ones. So don't you think, Sarah? Open topics would be the best way.
Yeah, open topic. Especially if there's nothing that jumps out at you in a traditional topic, that the open topic is kind of the front door for all these solutions that the Air Force just doesn't know they need yet. They may, be like, oh, well, we just do this, but this is really a better way of, solving that problem.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I don't see any other questions in the chat, but thank you so much for your time today. It has been really informative, and I think people took a lot home from this.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation, and I look forward to any emails that come forward, or if anything I can help in the future also.
Absolutely. I do have one more question. So these companies that are participating today are demonstrating their technologies in front of tech scouts and SMEs. What advice would you give them for those presentations, and how to kind of move forward once they get feedback from there?
So I can give that one if I put my SME hat on, with that. So take aside the AFWERX hat and put the SME hat. So my focus as an SME is to make sure that the ideas or the demonstrations and stuff that come forward with technology is has, I would say, less of less of thoughts and less of concepts and more of implementation. You have to show an implementation path also. Like I said, sometimes we don't even know that this could help us. So doing your research, doing your homework before you showcase a technology is very important. If there are ideas, it's then mention it's an idea, and be clear that there hasn't been enough research done on it to prove that this technology is great, and that would be some thing of interest to look into. But it's very important to understand that the time you get to talk to the SMEs or to the Air Force TPOCs and stuff, they have limited time, as they have other, they have operational duty and stuff like that. So you have to make sure that you give them the right, that within that time you give them the right solution, the right product, and give and take that feedback and try to implement it immediately. Reach back to them and say, yes, we found a solution, or can you point us in the other direction, into another direction or something, if that person cannot help further. We are always looking to help connect people. So we are happy to connect if we don't have the solution. But a lot of times, it's you expect that if you have an idea, it has to move forward. And if that person is not the right person, you can always ask that SME or that Air Force person that to either point them to the next person. So it's something that we are all learning. Innovation is not something that's in our blood. I would say it's more it's something that the Air Force and the military is overall changing. They were bringing more innovation into it, so it takes time for us to absorb the ideas, absorb the technology, but we are speeding up the process. As I mentioned earlier, we are we want to work with industry, we want to work with researchers, and we just have to be aware that it takes time for both sides to understand this. So timing is important, having the patience is important, but at the same time doing your research and making sure that what you're showcasing is going to be useful. And from there, I think that you will find the right door that will connect you to the end user.
All right, again, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time today.
Thank you, everyone. Take care. Have a nice day.
Yep, you too.